Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Heroes Unleashed. This is our persistent campaign. We did a one shot last week, which unfortunately I was not able to upload to Twitch, but we are back. Twitch streaming. Everybody's here. We have Patch, Seraph, Id, Morgan, and Gabe, who is Orion. I have his name backwards on this. This is weird. Um, we have Patch, Seraph, Id, Morgan, and Orion. Patch being played by Steve. Seraph is Mike. Id is Quan. Morgan is Spanky. And Gabe, as I said before, is Orion. So, what we're going to do, I'm going to forego the introductions and start talking about where we are right now. I've been practicing this one. Last time on Dragon Ball Z. Sorry, I just had a little moment. Seraph and Patch are working together. Patch is a genius, right? No, you are a super invention. I apologize. He's a super invention, and he is working with Seraph. Seraph is a highly advanced bioorganic robot ish. And he is recently escaped from what was the name of the? I keep getting them confused. It was either Aegis or the other one.
Was actually created by people who made their own lab.
Oh, okay, that's right. I
Yeah,
forgot.
but they were from multiple companies.
Right.
So
So it was a conglomerate of effort, and in all their efforts to create this being, for him to slip through their fingers, supposedly.
they were all dead when he
Right.
woke up. So
Now, what he's trying to do is figure out his place in the world, understand humanity better, and in that he is a sort of a surrogate child for Patch, who found him and took him into his home. He has the resources to help. That's what he's been doing this whole time. Seraph decided to infiltrate the USC campus for their mega servers, and in doing so, he was unsuccessful in infiltrating the network that he was trying to infiltrate, and discovered a being that was made of light. If you had to picture it, I would think of the Seraph character from The Matrix as he walked into the room for the first time. And he saw a being of light, and it was more so it looked like a physical being, but this particular entity had warned him that something was coming, that he was coming, and that he needed to leave. He tried to grab the entity to take him with him out of the net, but in doing so, he was hit with a massive amount of feedback. And when his consciousness came out of the net, his body was completely strewn about and the ensuing blast had set fire to the server, and thus shutting everything down. Now, at that point, Patch was working to get in with with that particular department at the campus, and they were eager for his help because he does have a lot of knowledge, and he is very well known in that community. So, unfortunately, he was unable to assist. He understands that Patch is in that Seraph is in the building and his intent, but he's only been able to make very little contact with him as Seraph is recovering. Now we have Id, who is a detective of the Los Angeles Police Department. He works directly for the commissioner, and he is not very well liked because his abilities put him at odds with his fellow officers. He's in a very xenophobic department when it comes to metahumans. The only two people at this time were his former partner and the commissioner himself. Now, this particular campaign is persistent. It has been for several months, if not a year. So a lot of the stuff that we're going to talk about is not necessarily new for us, the GM and the players, but we hope that everyone will be able to catch up and just enjoy what we're about to embark on. Now, Morgan and Gabe, well, Morgan and Orion, I'm going to fix that in a minute because it's throwing me off. Morgan and Orion are the newer characters to this story. Now, from the last game that we played, which was a one shot, because we were bringing in Morgan and Gabe to Morgan and Orion to the story. It was pre Dark Day. This particular campaign is about a month after it's the aftermath of that, and how governments and the society as a whole is trying to move forward post-crisis. And I hate to use that term because that immediately evokes the Flash for me anyway. But the idea is that people are trying to get back to normal. The powers that be would love for people to move past this, but the xenophobia in terms of what's out there, and the fact that a lot of what happened on that night is still being uncovered, is raising the anti-metahuman sentiment in certain sects. As this group are primarily vigilantes, with the exception of Quan, who is authorized and working for a local government agency. That is primarily what is happening. Morgan, he was looking for his family's murderers. He's been searching for about a month, and he's been hitting dead ends, even with Id's help. Now, there was a portion in that where Id would have been away, because we did have we are doing a time jump from when Morgan and Orion had joined the group. So it's about a month from that one shot, and in that time, Id would have been working with the other group members on other assignments. Morgan, you are definitely trying your hardest to figure out what's going on, but the harder you look, the more resistance that you've been finding, especially in the upper echelons of the hierarchies of society, of Hollywood society, of the money men behind the scenes, local governments. There are players that you are starting to figure out are actively trying to prevent you from getting any more information than you may have already gotten. And as far as Orion, I'm gonna have to figure out what we're doing here. So just if you would have some patience with me, and then we'll bring in. All right. Now, on with the show, huh? Okay. So we're gonna start with Patch. They had put out the fire in the lab. The dean, or the director of this particular program, he was very apologetic, but he had to excuse himself. He left it with his assistant. Now, for shits and giggles, all right. So her name is Betty Simon, and she's not very tech savvy, but she is a very good coordinator. That's why he has her on board. You figure that out really quickly throughout. She's really thorough in terms of her organizational skills. You were also privy to the that vehicle. You remember that vehicle? I am so unorganized right now. Pat, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm trying to look for my notes too.
It was.
I know I wrote something down someplace.
Yeah, it was. It was an experiment. It was it wasn't a vehicle. It was
No, it's an experimental anti-gravity engine,
that's what it was. I'm thinking of vehicle. It
and
was
it was a hex. They were using hex tiles.
yeah.
Yeah, it reminded him of Seraph system. That's what caught his
Right.
Yeah.
attention about it.
Okay.
I know that the last thing I was going to do was slip the glove part of my armor on so I can use an ability.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to machine meld or machine link.
Machine mechanolink.
Mechano link to the computer so I can analyze the device more carefully,
Mm-hmm.
so I can see how I can help them make it work better.
Okay. All right. So Betty had to let you know that she was going to take a break. She had to make a few calls, but you're welcome to utilizing the workstation, and then she will be back in like 20 minutes.
Yeah, I remember that part.
As you were checking through the system, you do note that a lot of the mechanics of it are almost, I would say, in terms of similarities to Seraph systems, you extrapolate that they're approximately 72% of what Seraph is made of. Now the other 28% is unquantifiable. You can't. They're not on any periodic table.
Oh,
They're not on your the periodic table, not any periodic table. They're not on
right.
the periodic table. The those elements they're not listed. They're listed as unknown, and those aren't being analyzed. There's a firewall in terms of getting into the subroutines for that, and you're with your ability, you're able to get into it, and you could see that they're proprietary to those three corporations. They're all working together, and each one of them is providing a line of code that makes up these particular elements. But again, none of those elements correspond to anything that's currently on Earth right now.
Is there like a breakdown on them though? Like
Yes, their molecular structures. They're what you're looking at is what you're looking at seems to be organic. It has components of an organ. Like there's certain sections when you're putting them all together, all three of them, and you're lining them up, they form a DNA chain.
okay. Um, Knowing that my curiosity definitely got pulled into this,
Mm-hmm.
I am checking the structure of that chain to see if that's what's causing the instability in the field. Because I know that the field keeps for a while, and then all of a sudden it turns to crap.
Your initial hypothesis is yes, that this sequencing is absorbing the energy that's being fed into the other 72%. So it's just
And this,
absorbing it, and it's not redistributing it. It's absorbing and storing it. So currently, the way that this is structured, because of its size, the stored energy is enough to power the city for about a month.
wow, nice.
But they don't know about it, and it looks like it's building.
Oh, that's not good. Um, so what I'm gonna do is, damn, I would hate to have to do that if I ask him, but I'm gonna copy the structure
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna start manipulating it to see if I can have it instead of absorb. No, I want it to absorb. So absorbing is fine. I needed trying to see if I can figure out a way to have it absorb, but also redistribute so that it can stabilize itself. So in other words, I'm trying to manipulate the molecules in a way so that as it's absorbing, it doesn't overcharge itself
Mm-hmm.
and make the field crap out. and I'm trying to get it so that it would redistribute the energy back into the field so that it makes the field stronger.
Okay. I need you to make a programming roll, because this is all brand new stuff to you. You're going to have a negative 40 to that to your percentages.
Computer programming. Is this right? This can't be right. Oh man. I'm sorry. Give me a sec.
No, take your time.
Gotta look
Take
at
your
the.
time, young man. Mama used to say. Sorry.
Yeah, show your age.
Yeah, seriously.
Where's my heroes book? Heroes. Look, you got the heroes book up
I do not, but I can always find it. What are you looking for specifically?
under the electronics expert. Their programming skills higher than the regular one
Is it
to start with.
is it on the which book is
Hardware.
that? It's on the hardware.
The main
okay.
book.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, I found it. I found this.
You found it?
Wait, I found the book.
If only they would
let's see
come out with the freaking hardware unlimited that you guys were able to take a peek at.
Oh my, yo,
Yeah.
122.
Hopefully next year we can go because they have the open house next year.
I don't know.
I'm gonna try to take it.
He's like, I don't know.
Put that manuscript down. Watch that shit disappear.
All right, so
Actually,
we're on
this-
live, and
yeah.
you're admitting to a prior crime,
Joking.
a crime. So I will not be a party to that, sir.
It was selling it actually. The manuscript itself.
No. He was trying to get permissions so he could photocopy it and he could sell it for $20
Gotcha.
to
No,
anybody who
but
wanted it.
on their website, on the Palladium site, they were selling just the manuscript, the raw manuscript.
Really? They were? Because I
Yeah.
didn't see that. Because I saw that I would have bought it.
All right, so it would.
Okay, so it says computer. It
be-
says computer programming plus 20. All right, and I know I got a bonus already.
You're doing a quick guess or proper analysis, and
I just need to know what the base roll is. Make sure I got this right.
right. It would be.
What page is the skills on? Yo, I think I would have had this.
Oh my god, they finally redid the website. It is horrible.
Education 44.
Find anything.
It would be under one of. It would be under a. It would be under. It's not mechanics.
It's technical. It's
Technical,
skill.
yes. Because you're trying to
Scroll.
define its purpose. Actually, you're not trying to define its purpose. You're trying to repair it. So yeah.
Okay, so my skill is right. I'm sorry. All right, so I did do my homework properly. Minus 40.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is not going to be good. So no,
All right. So
because
it
my
would have been
skill at
under
minus 40 it would have been 19.
19. Okay. Even with your IQ bonus.
I got a plus 20 bonus,
Mm-hmm.
and then a 4% on top of that with my IQ.
Okay. Oh, so it was 24. Okay, so,
The
so
24% bonus, and
Right.
then the roll.
and then the raw
then
the raw roll would have been
Yeah, because
And-
the entire roll would have been 59.
okay.
And then it's minus 40, which is 19. So I have to
Okay.
get under a 19.
Gotcha. Okay. You think you're on the right track. The way that this is constructed, because it looks like it's organic. It's not expanding using the energy. It's just storing it, but it shouldn't be. The way that this system was designed, it's similar to Seraph in that he can use it and he can distribute the energy throughout his body, and that's how he uses it for propulsion, to separate into the smaller parts, to reorganize his body into weaponry, and so what he's using it is a more utilitarian uses. But for this, This doesn't seem utilitarian. The kind of energy that this particular sequence is storing, it doesn't seem like it's for utility. In other words, because of your military background, I will say that you have a hunch, and I'm going to give this to you, that it's some sort of weapons design.
Okay. Okay. Well, then that's definitely going to interfere with what they're trying to do initially with it.
Right. Their stated goal is not for weapons design, but this is what's stumping them. They haven't gotten to this part. You know that they haven't gotten to this part
Okay.
because of what everything that they've described up to this point is exactly what you've seen. And then the stumping point, because of your ability, because you're able to merge with the machine and get this information at way quicker speeds than they're able to do it, you're able to put this together as way quicker than they could have. It would have probably have taken them months in order to get to this point,
All right.
if they got to this point at all. So that's where you are right now with Seraph. You finally you finally pull all your components back together, and remember you had that feeling that you never had before. Your body was always what is it, ones and zeros. So you
Yes.
understood the concept, the clinical definition of what feelings are, and what the
But I never felt them.
right. It's the sensation of having nerve endings,
Right.
which is what's throwing you. Not to mention the fact that you have all this data that's weighing you down. It's a metaphorical, but in a sense, for you, it's almost like physical weight
Right.
that you're still trying to piece together. That's completely broken up. The being that you tried to catch did not, it had that moment where it resisted and yelled and filled your auditory sensors with all this noise, and it shot you out of the virtual into the physical, and your body was just completely shattered, and you were able to finally pull it back together. You did talk to Patch for a few, but your communications was down temporarily. After a self-diagnostic, you're able to see that your systems are back to nominal. So at this point, what are you doing?
So by diagnostic standards, I'm pretty much back to normal.
They're nominal. You don't see anything out. You don't see anything out of the ordinary except for that block of information that's still in your memory.
Right. All right. Yeah, the information I got at Patch's house, right?
Yes.
And I still need to work on that.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, it cannot be in a system that is connected to the web. I reach out to Patch.
Okay.
Do I reach him?
Hold on for 1 second.
Patch?
I was able
Yes.
to get the sound thing to start working, so I'm gonna be using that a little bit more. But anyway, yes. So your phone finally buzzes. What's the buzz?
I pick it up.
Okay. Well, you guys can talk. Go ahead.
Yeah, Patch. I am back online.
You good?
System's nominal. There's still the unsettled information in my system, and I think I will need some time to recalibrate still.
I can help you with that if you want me to.
I think that we will need a closed system to work in.
I can see about shipping some parts out of New York.
This would be good.
I'll see if I get a couple of servers sent over. Listen, I found something here. Their project, but we need to talk about it. but not right now, not right here.
Is it dangerous? Is it
It's curious and peculiar, and I don't trust the line. So when I catch up with you, I'll tell you everything about it.
okay?
Can you get back to the house?
I think so. I will check. I will let you know.
All right.
All right. And end of line, like in Tron.
Now you make me want to go. You want to see that movie again? I love that movie.
Just watched it like yesterday,
It's
literally.
a great movie. It was great it was great for the day.
It's so 80s.
Yeah.
But I just got Disney Plus, so so I check and see if my flight systems are working.
They are. Yes.
Okay. So make my way to the home, the residence.
Okay. You do that. Patch is still there. We're gonna go to Id and then Morgan and Orion. Okay. Id, you had been off and on helping Morgan in his investigation. The issue with Morgan's situation is that the circles that he wants to start looking at, you've been warned away from. The chief specifically told you that the whatever you were doing was flagged, and he was able to explain it away as a glitch. And he doesn't he's unconvinced in that he was able to get that explanation across that was believable. So he thinks, in that time he's confided in you that he thinks that you guys are that he's being surveilled. Unfortunately, he hasn't been able to figure out what he's just got funny feelings. He thinks he at some point he felt like he was being tailed. That was over the last few weeks. This past week, since you haven't really done anything in terms of searching for, anything for Morgan, because quite frankly, you only met him that month ago in that whole what was it? That whole firehouse incident. Seems like a nice fellow, but you've been risking yourself enough for people that you barely know, and your boss is telling you to back off. I'm examining his surface thoughts. He is really particular. He's mostly concerned about himself, but he just wants to make sure that you stay in place because you're a very valuable asset. I hope I'm not talking to myself. Can you hear me, Quan?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Because you guys don't have cameras, I can't tell.
Yeah,
Okay. There was a fire at one of the colleges, and it just comes across the wire. Nothing out of the ordinary. But that there was what was I going to say? There was a camera crew that was there for a presentation for some science award that they were presenting, and you did notice that you just happened to catch your eye that you saw Patch. He was in the background talking with someone, so he's there. And you've come to understand that wherever he is, generally Seraph is. And your other friends have pretty much dropped off the face of the earth as far as the other players. I don't know if they're ever coming back, but hey, this is the nature of the game. Now, there was a package that was delivered to you this morning. You haven't gotten to it. It's in a plain manila envelope. It has your name on it, and you had opened I'm taking some liberties just to move this along in my own head. So I don't normally play people's characters. I just want to make sure that that's clear. But while you were watching the TV, it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. I mean, it was a fire in one of their computer labs. So you just happen to see Patch on there. You open the envelope and you can see a CD on it. There's a blank CD that's there.
Um, it's like just a DVD or is it
Like a
audio?
DVD, yeah.
All right, I'm
I say
curious.
CD. Once again, I'm showing my age.
I'm curious about this, and I'm going to use object read on it.
Okay. It's actually fortuitous. It was going to be one of two ways. Now, when you as soon as you link into the object, you tap into your mental reserves and you activate the ability. It you open your eyes and you're in a room. It looks like an interrogation room, but you can smell different smells. It smells dank. It smells like like rats have died in here. And I don't know if you've never smelled a dead rat. They are disgusting. It smells like you taste tinfoil. It's a very strong, very pungent odor, and you can hear to your left. You can hear screaming. It's a man screaming, and yeah, well, no, but yeah, that sounds about right. Where is it? Yeah, eventually I'll get there. But turning your attention to the sound, the room itself, it's rectangular because you were just staring at a wall, and you turn as you're turning, you can at the far end of the room, it's maybe about 20 feet away. There's you see the back of a man, a really large, heavy set man. I'm not going to say built, but he's not cut, but he's big. He's broad shouldered. He's bald. He's wearing what looks like a leather apron. And with his right arm, you can see him making a sawing motion. You look and try and take in the whole scene. You can see blood coming from from underneath the tables, pulled around his feet. And as he stops with the sawing motion, he just casually flips a hand that hits the floor, and that screaming continues. So he's speaking, but you can't understand him. It seems like an echoey language, not language, but the voice is it's echoing to the point where you can't really make it out, and you can tell he's just yelling, the very deep voice, and then the person who's screaming is trying to speak as well, and just speaking through a scream because then whatever just happened is causing it extraordinary pain, and he turns to the let's just call him the butcher. He turns to you and he waves you over. Now you walk because you're in this vision, in this trance, and you see he's just like he's pointing and he's like pointed to the guy. You turn, the guy has his stump, and he's holding it with his hand. And there's blood pouring out from where his fingers join, and he's just trying to staunch the bleeding and just staring at it. He looks like a 50. He's about 50. He's Caucasian. He's mostly balding, but he has like a brown, like a blonde wreath of hair that's matted with sweat, and his face is just bruised. One of his eyes is closed from the beating that he was just taking, and as he's talking, he turns. He stops screaming and looks to you, and he says, "Tell my son to stop looking for me." And then you come out of it.
Stop what? He said to stop what?
In a British accent, he says, "Tell my son to stop looking for me."
Shit. And then pop right out of it.
And you pop right out of it.
Oh.
And when you pop right out of it, you're the sensation is so acute because he just stopped from the screaming and the panicking, and he has his one eye closed, and he's just like, "Tell my son to stop. Tell my son to stop looking for me." And you pop right out of it, and you just like you look at the DVD in your hand. You had snapped it in half.
Okay. I'm going to step back and shake my head a little bit, and I'm going to make myself a drink. I assume that what I just witnessed was not the newest soft flick, and this might have had something to do with Morgan.
Well, he's the only Brit that you know of right now.
So I'm going to give Morgan a call, and so we need to meet. I need to discuss this.
Okay, where?
I haven't called you yet.
Okay.
You make your drink, you settle your nerves, and then you pick up the phone, call Morgan.
I'm calling Morgan.
Ring,
Yeah, I don't have the sound yet.
ring, ring. I pick up. Hello?
Morgan, it's
Ed.
yeah. Don't tell me that over the phone. It's Ed, just Ed. All right, look, we need to meet somewhere. I need something to eat too. Is there a Chipotle anywhere near you?
No, sure.
All right, let's meet there. I need to discuss some things with you. You're not gonna believe this.
So I'll meet you in a little bit. I head out. Get myself ready and head out.
All right. Okay. About an hour later, you guys meet up at the restaurant and go.
Hey!
Don't hate me. Sit down.
So I'm gonna have a seat.
I hand him the broken DVD that I was given.
So how's this?
Look, you're the only Brit I know, even though you don't have an accent.
Okay.
I received this in a manila envelope. Look, I checked it out. On it was some graphic things. I'm not going to get into details because it might upset you. But there was a man, a British man, and his only message to me was to tell son to stop looking for him.
Can you describe him?
I describe him as best I can.
It sounds like your father. You do know that your father is a psychic, so it is
Okay.
entirely possible that he could have implanted that message.
Okay. So I'm gonna let it sink in. So he's alive.
I don't know. He didn't look like he was in the best shape. He might not still be alive, but he was at the time.
So for now, I'll hold back. Is there anything that you need help with? Thank you for this.
No, this sounds more along your case. If you still need help, apparently somebody knows I'm working this case. So if you still need help, I will do what I can.
Okay.
Okay. The I need you to roll 20-sided, please. Morgan.
For
Psionics.
oh,
Just as he's talking to you and he hands you the remnants of the DVD and it, you had there's some tingling feeling from your it's a tingling sensation as you're touching the ruined thing on your fingertips, and you felt a jolt and you heard a scream and it sounded like your sister. And it's just it washed right through you just in that instant. And then you heard and then another scream, and it sounded like your mom. It was just these are all whatever's imprinted on this thing is it's a strong imprint. Now, because you are already a psychic, when he touched it, it was almost as if this thing it triggered something within Morgan, and you felt it. You felt it just coming off of him in a wave, and he's shocked. You're just staring at him like, what's going on? You don't know him very well. You've only known him for a short period of time, but he's never exhibited any psychic abilities. So that's something new.
Morgan, you all right?
I heard something. I heard some of my family.
What did you hear? I know that look.
I heard my sister and mother screaming as if they were being tortured.
Do you know by whom? Who would want to torture you?
No. That's what I'm investigating. What happened to my family? I thought they were killed, and now this message.
Sounds like there's a psychic imprint on this thing.
Yes.
You might want to not touch that anymore. Put it back in the envelope.
Okay.
To my knowledge, is there any way that DVD can be repaired?
No, it's like broken into multiple pieces.
Okay.
I need you both to roll perception, please.
Okay.
You have a 40. Oh, that's right, because of your
Yeah.
because of your abilities. I forgot.
Ain't nothing getting by me.
He's
Unless I
like,
roll a
I
one.
see everything. I notice everything.
Everything. Absorb it.
The world's greatest detective. Where are they?
Thing. I know that it was Jack with the candlestick in the library because of the mustard stain on your collar.
Like, holy shit. That is really good. All right. You're both sitting down. You're inside the restaurant. You're sitting down. You didn't necessarily get anything to eat. That's just minutia. But you're sitting down talking with each other. You had that psychic flash. In that few seconds, you just like you start hearing this in your head. Not in your head. At least you thought it was your head. But you notice that the people next to you on both sides, they're all like, they stop talking. Everyone stops talking in this place. And it's like, do you hear that? What the?
What is that?
We should leave.
You think? Got my senses all up.
Do you have a danger sense?
I do have sixth sense.
Okay, so your sixth sense is immediately like the hairs on your neck are just standing. And you feel like something's coming.
All right, time to go. Time
Now-
to get the hell out of there.
from the counter where the servers are, or yeah, they're not baristas; they're meat baristas. You can hear a woman's voice. She's like, "Oh my God, ma'am, are you all right?" You okay? So Morgan, you have your back to it. Id, you can see where he is. Like, so you have your back to the door. Morgan has his back to where the people are being served. You see this woman. She was online, and she has her back to you, and she's about two rows away. So where you're sitting is closest to the door. Then there's another section of tables, and then there's that bar line that goes that L shape from where the way the Chipotle's are set.
Yeah.
So the line is to the right, and then the stations are directly ahead of you, and the what is it? Excuse me.
Okay.
The girl that's saying this, she's about 5'7", blonde. She looks she doesn't look any more older than 17, and her eyes are wide, and and she's just like, you can see her taking a step back. The guy who's cooking to her left, he notices her, and then turns to where that woman, and he's just like, "Oh shit!" and he backs up. And he drops his thing. So people are now starting to turn to her. So at this point, her head, the you can see the woman, her head is like angled down, like she looks like her head is like in her chin is in her chest, and as she lifts her head up. And immediately, everyone in that area. There maybe about 25 people in this place. The people that in that row in front of you, they get up and start running and screaming towards the door. The woman that's there, when she like moves her arms from in front of her, you can see them immediately. Just her forearm, and her. What's the bicep? Is the bicep and her forearm? They start stretching out and popping in this crazy contortion. She reaches over the counter and grabs that girl by the head, and just as she's squeezing, you can see the girl starts screaming, and she just crunches it, and her head explodes in her hands. The woman turns to you guys. Her eyes are completely black. She has this black liquid coming out of her mouth, and she's looking at Id. She's looking directly at you.
I don't think we should eat here.
Yeah, whose idea was it to come here anyway?
Yours.
Put the people to safety. I'll handle this.
And she pulls her arms, like when I say she turns to you, her head turned to you. Her body's still facing the girl. Her hands are still crunched around her head, and she finally lets go and flips her arms around. So if you were to imagine like those old robot where the arms go out and flip around, but this is a person doing this. So biologically speaking, she shouldn't be able to do this. It's freaking you both out, and I need you to both roll a horror factor, please. Okay. All right, so you're both freaked out, but not too freaked out. And
Good lord.
there's a slight smell of urine coming from your pants.
Only slightly.
Just a smile, just a smidge.
Just a wee bit of pee.
This is not the weirdest thing I've seen, and this has happened before.
Did she ask for some carne?
So It's like carne asada. It's like I shouldn't have to pay more for guac.
Smash the head.
Just terrible. All she wanted was double meat.
This is
Does
what
she
happens
have-
when you
does
ask
she
for
have
guac.
Does she have a Karen haircut?
She reaches to the benches that are in front. Now, those are all the chairs. If you've ever been to a Chipotle, they're all bolted. So she grabs that first one and she just pulls it to where the wood is splintering in her hands.
I'm gonna try to help the people get out.
Okay, so I mean, you guys did make the horror factor save, so that's you take the actions to escort the people who are really don't necessarily need your help to leave. They are escorting it. They're not just sitting there like fuck this. I pay for this guac. I'm eating it. No, they
That'd
are.
be somebody we know. Not to mention names.
They are bolting out of that place.
Well, all right. And
Which
she's picking up a chair,
leaves
so-
you and 3 other employees who had all run out the back.
Well, I'm not going to tell her to freeze. I'm just going to throw a punch.
Now she looks at. She's looking. She initially was looking at you, Id, but then she turns to Morgan.
You are left. We will have your blood.
It's not for sale.
Roll initiative, please.
Well, you'll have to get through me first. And then eventually him. Does my 6th sense bonus count towards this?
Yes, actually it does.
I was trying to do the token roll, but I can't create a token on the table.
What are you talking about?
You drag your picture onto the roll 20 so you can get a token. So you can click on it, and when you roll 20, it gives you the tracker.
Oh yeah. Don't worry about that for now.
So it's +6 on initiative.
So it's a 12.
Ooh, shit.
Damn.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I had it wrong. The Cornwallis was he rolled the 6. He's like,
Yeah,
my
that's what I-
word.
Oh,
He's
I'm
like,
stunned.
he's like, I say. I'm gonna do horrible British accent. All right.
Say it, chap.
I'm only good
It'll
at-
all sound Cockney.
yeah.
If you want to do English correctly, just speak English correctly.
Mm. Yeah, they hate it when we do that.
See what you did there.
Okay, Quan, you're up first.
All right. As I said, I'm throwing a punch, a telekinetic punch.
Okay.
Roll strike. Okay,
What's the damage?
the damage is 36 plus 9 physical. This is 46.
Why are you rolling?
I want to know what this thing is.
Okay, those are actions. You know that, right?
They are?
It's gonna. All right. No. What am I saying? Never mind.
All right, I'm gonna roll straight.
Have an analytical mind.
Mhm.
And watch.
Sorry.
It rolls up until this point.
Doesn't it have a bonus to strike?
No, it's telekinesis.
Oh. Because I remember the other one has like a +2.
It's like,
Not telekinetic punch. Telekinetic punch don't have a bonus.
okay. Morgan, you were the first roll. Whatever it is, you can't quantify because there's nothing. There's the only thing that happened with the arm and the head. So that could be a possession, and
That's what I was thinking.
for the psychic, that you're not gonna get anything from that.
Okay.
So what are you doing?
I'm stepping back. He's fighting it.
It's like I
I'm
say.
trying to analyze to see what it is so I can try to subdue it.
Okay, so you can hold your action.
Yeah, I hold.
Okay. All right. So this thing, again, it stretches its arms out, and when it does, each one of its fingers triples in length, and these long black claws, about an inch, and they seem to be oozing that black liquid, come out, and goes to swipe at you, Quan. I'm sorry, Id.
All right, I'm going to attempt to dodge.
But you have a Plymouth. It's an old. I'm sorry, that's a horrible joke. When back in the day when we were children, I was running a game and one of my players was like, "I'm gonna dodge," and then the other one was like, "But I thought you had a Plymouth." Awful. It's just awful. Okay, that would be a 23. Man, that thing is in suspense. It takes a minute for the number to pop up. Is that just anybody notice that?
Waiting.
Right. That's 46 points of damage.
Diablo.
So this one digs you. It catches you because of the length of the fingers and the way that it's stretching from the hand. It catches you right under the chest, from your arm, right straight across your chest. Just scratches you, and you felt it. It felt like fire, like someone dumped hot sauce, like the hottest hot sauce in your body. Just burns as it goes right through you.
Yeah. Damn.
All right, I need you to make a pain roll unless you have deaden pain as a psionic ability.
I do not.
Okay, so Morgan, you're just like, I say, that was okay. Ah! He gets hit as the thing just hits him. It looks like it sprays. It just a huge spray of blood as he spins to the ground, to your left. So now he's just staring at you. Now, Quan, because you failed that pain roll, that's your next action is done. You're gonna have to wait for the next round. So now, Morgan, it's your action.
Grab him and run.
Okay, so that's 2 actions, and you held one, so you're able to do that. It's like, what's your strength?
18.
Okay,
I can pick up 360
you
pounds.
grab him. Okay, take it easy, sir. Take it easy. You grab him and you just drag him right out of it. Right out of it. He's just like, oh, but I'm a cop.
That is all this shit keep happening.
He's like, what is it? I'm too old for this shit. He's gonna go straight Murtaugh on him. All right, you pull you grab him and you're pulling it out, but it doesn't seem to be moving, like making a move to run after you. As you're going through you remember most Chipotles have 2 sets of doors. You get through the first one as it's closing.
We will have you soon.
Is it? You're pulling him through. This huge smile comes across, like distends its face. You can hear the bones popping in his jaw and his face, and it just reaches up and pulls its own head off. Like it pulls it, like it digs its nails into his face and just pulls the skull apart and just falls to the ground.
That was a bloody boom. Look.
I say, you Americans, you really take it to another level.
Just get me out of here.
I take him to his car. So we can go, and then I'll take him to the hospital.
Okay.
Since I've been here over a couple of months, I should know where the hospital
Yeah,
is.
you have a decent lay of the
Yeah.
land.
And as I'm going, I'm still memorizing everything. The streets, everything. So I know the lay of the city. And the people.
All right, take it easy, sir.
Like if they're hookers, they might know information.
It's like, hey, you, here's $10. It's like, all right, let's get it over with. No, not that. Not today. All right. We're gonna go to Orion as you're taking him. You put him in the car. He is bleeding heavily. Doesn't seem to stop bleeding. That's the thing that you notice is there's not a lot of coagulation. And did I say that right? Coagulation. So his blood is not pooling to form the scabs that he needs in order to stop bleeding. It just seems to keep bleeding. By the time you get him to the car, his entire shirt is soaked and it's soaking down to mid thigh. That's how much blood he's just coming out of his wound.
Yeah, rush him.
Okay, and for that, Id, you're extraordinarily dizzy. You can feel this pain as it's like the biggest, the four biggest paper cuts that you've ever felt. But they happen to be across your mid bicep and across your chest. Okay. So.
Can I attempt to heal myself?
Yes, you actually can before we move on.
Let's heal some SDC. So I'm gonna pull back some SDC.
Okay. So that brings you back up to that.
8.
It's minus 38.
Minus 38. God damn.
Right, because you were at 46. So.
Yeah. Right.
So you're wounded. You're super hurt at this point. The
Ben
all right.
Lesnar version or Johnny Cash version?
Johnny Cash version, definitely. I hurt myself today to see if I could feel. All right. Now Orion.
If I die, bury me inside the Gucci store.
Nice. Orion is an extraterrestrial visitor who was stranded here on Earth. Fill everybody else in, just because I think the only people that would know you would be Id, and not Patch, because Id and Morgan do know you, but Patch does not, because he was remoting in. He was basically piloting a drone that game, and Seraph, you haven't met yet.
Okay, so my character is essentially just a blue alien, tall, thin, doesn't have any vocal cords, so I speak with telepathic messages. I can only speak to one person at a time, and I'm fully GSTF member.
Yes. Okay. Now, you had gotten an alert, not too long after this incident, about the incident. There seemed to be a metahuman attack in downtown Los Angeles. They were able to get, because of the Patriot Act, they were able to get the surveillance footage, and in that you're able to see most of that happening from it's a black and white surveillance footage. It's coming in from an angle, but you saw what happened, and you recognize one of the combatants, which was the LAPD officer, and you did also see him with the Brit that was also involved in that firehouse incident. So the circumstances are shifting in that it is a metahuman attack, but it's metahuman on metahuman, as far as you can tell, because you do know that Morgan is a metahuman. You don't know that it is a metahuman just yet.
Reverse.
Uh,
It is a mega.
No. He thinks he believes that you're a metahuman.
Oh, okay.
All right, so I'd probably report the incident to my superior. Let me pull up my.
Okay. Do you remember the name? I'm gonna be a little bit more prepared next time. I just cut me a break, guys. But yeah, the I remember your superior within the task force wasn't very excited that you were a part of it because he was still human, and they haven't necessarily finished establishing the hub in Los Angeles. So it's Los Angeles and only 3 other states that have GSTF locations. Because the transition into utilizing metahumans for law enforcement is well behind the curve of other nations. Sort of like everything else these days is well behind the curve of other nations. Now, when you get to his office, he doesn't necessarily pay that much attention to you in the sense of he takes your oral report and he's just like, yeah, just go. I got other things to worry about. I got to keep this. I got to keep the freaking lights on. So just go do what you got to do. Report back to me. Remember everything. Report back to me. Yeah. All right. So you get to the location. Fast forward to the location. When you get there, the police had cordoned it off. They yellow taped it. There's onlookers. They're taking witness statements. The lead detective, his name is Franco Morris. Yeah, write this down because I forget names way too quickly.
Hey, yo, Franco.
All right, so.
Okay, so
you get out.
having
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
having had the incident with the police department, that they were formally freaking out that I was telepathically communicating with
Mhm.
them. I'd assume that I would have put on the card that I can't speak and I can only transmit messages telepathically.
Okay.
So
When you hand him the card, he looks. He's like, "What the hell's this?" He's just like, "Oh, look at this guy, Blue Man Group. How you doing? I heard about you." You hand him the card. He's like, "What?" Oh no, bro, no. I don't want any of that in any of this. So whatever you got to do to make another, you say that. Just use your notepad. Use your words. Use your words.
I'll give him another piece of paper with my phone number on it. It says text.
It's like, are you serious, bro? Jesus Christ. You know what? Come with me. I'll show you what we got. Then you do whatever, whatever voodoo that you do. You know what I mean? You get it? Agabid. I don't know why I went New York Italian on this one.
Yeah, I
but,
know. That whole cop.
That's fine.
I don't know why I went there.
OP
But
cop.
Agabid, you hear me?
One good corrupt police force deserves another. Huh?
It just went. I went Jersey Shore on your ass. Okay. So he, you go into the tape. You go inside. They have lights, CSIs on the scene. They're collecting evidence. You can see the bodies. The first body you see was the purported Meta, and then the other one. As you go, you have to go around the counter. He's going through the scene. He's like, "Yeah, this is whatever this is. I ain't never seen nothing like that. It's just a good thing I got a good stomach. I just ate some gabagool. No, that's just, again, more stereotyping. But so it's like, yeah, I don't know what to make of this. That's why you're here. You say, yeah, man, that poor girl. Look at her. It's like, yeah. Well, I guess it's gonna be a closed casket for her, huh?
Just sort of nod.
He says, yeah. So we'll get you the surveillance footage, but just he gives you a roundabout of the scene, about the approximate time that it happened. They talked to some witnesses who said they heard something in the air. He said it could have been this thing making that noise, but we don't know yet. There's no the cameras don't have audio. Obviously, it's just video recording, and he's going to he's just like, listen, I'm gonna leave this to you. You're the feds. You take it. This is one we do not want.
All right, so I'm gonna search out Morgan, who I think is a metahuman.
Okay. The only way to get in touch with him is by phone or by text because he's not at the location. That's one of the things that Franco did mention. He said there were two guys here. He said, and one of them we think is one of ours. We couldn't really picture. He said we couldn't get a good look at the angle of the camera, but we think it's one of ours. And then there's this other guy. I don't know who he is. Some limey bastard. No. But no, he's
Some redhead,
So-
some ginger.
so. So there's two unaccounted for, and they stayed behind. One of them he describes as Caucasian male, approximately 6 foot, red hair, and then the other's African American, approximately 6 foot as well. Fits the description of every other African American. Fits the description, and
He's a Italian cop.
right, it's like yeah. So
He was like, "What are you moving?"
we got we got an APB. We're looking at getting somebody in to maybe identify him.
I'll start examining the crime scene then.
All right, it's I'm not gonna say open and shut, but the evidence is really just right there. There is a smell coming from the perpetrator of the incident, the supposed metahuman. The smell is of a rot. Now, rigor mortis hasn't even really set in yet on the body, and there should be no real smell of rot. But the thing literally pulled its head apart, and the hand are still contorted and elongated, which is the word I've been looking for. They're still contorted and elongated. You can still see the claws. There's it basically pulled its head apart and fell to its knees and then fell backwards. So as it fell backwards, it hit the metal of that serving area and just slid down. So there's a huge splash from that first the first time the back of its head hit that metal, and as it slid down. So it's still contorted. They haven't even touched the body yet. They're getting this is what the CSI is just like, hey, sir. He's like, whoa. He didn't even notice you. He was so busy. And he looks at you. When he notices that you're blue, he said, ooh, yeah. Yeah. Please don't touch that. We're gonna get a hazmat suit. We're gonna get a hazmat team in here to make sure the area is secure. He's like, I would suggest putting on a mask because you notice that he is wearing a breathing mask. Why am I saying breathing mask? He's wearing a mask. Yeah. So he's like, he points to one of his respirator. Damn it! So he points to one of his guys and he's just like, yeah, get this guy, right? Yeah. Sorry. Get this guy one of them. Get him a breather. So we can't have you breathing this stuff in. I keep telling that damn Goomba to get it to stay out of this fucking place. He won't listen, or rather, I keep telling that damn Goomba to stay out of here, but he won't fucking listen.
And I'll hand him a card also.
What the hell? He's like, oh, what? Are you serious with this?
I'll nod.
He's blue, for God's sake.
It's like, I guess, you're not going to do anything, like, perverted in my head, are you? It's like, look, man, I was hypnotized once for a gag. I clucked like a chicken for 3 hours. That's not fun. You're not going to do any of that, right?
I'll shake my head.
All right, do what you got to do.
I'll send him a message that see if he can actually send me a sample of any odd substances that they find,
So,
in addition to the normal, in addition to any they normally collect for their
okay. At this point, he's just like looking around, like, that is weird that you can talk to me like that. Wow. Yeah, sure. What do we call you?
I'll send him Orion.
Right, Orion. Okay, yeah. So, I mean, you have you're with that new task force anyway. So we gotta turn over anything meta related to you guys. Oh, please. It's like it doesn't look like any of the cops here want this. So we'll send over everything.
I don't nod at him.
He's like, it's just, um, he said, hey, are you not feeling anything from that smell? He said, because he pretty much knocked out two of my guys before we realized what it was. It's a strong, it's almost a sedative. It has
Sedative.
it has a sedative effect, but it's a form of a poison. So we had to get two of was like one of my guys is already at the hospital, and the other one is breathing from a respirator.
Well, when they would have offered me the mask, I would have taken it.
Okay. No, that's what I'm saying. He's asking you. He said you didn't feel that. You didn't feel anything, which you didn't at first. You
Yeah.
just noticed the smell.
I'll say not yet, but better safe than sorry.
Now, you got that right, brother. You are a brother, right?
He's a color.
Hey, well, he'd be a crip because you're in L.A. He's blue.
They blue.
That's just awful. Okay.
Would I happen to know the contact information of Id or Morgan in any way? Because I would know he was a cop.
Yes.
But I don't want to.
You
I don't want to.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I don't want to quite tip off that I know who it is just yet.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you do know Id. You were able to meet him after the event because he is a cop and he had to stay for when his superiors and his backup arrived. Morgan, you had met during that whole fracas afterwards, so he didn't. I'm not assuming that you guys are going to be playing together. Fast friends because you came from different angles at that last game, but you were able to exchange a sort of pleasantries with him, so you are familiar with him as a person, which is a roundabout way of saying you don't know him very well.
Know of him.
Right.
That's about it.
Yeah. No, I would have figured Id would be the only one I might have contact information just because I know he was a cop.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd go ahead and investigate the scene more, see if there's anything I can notice that would be important.
Okay. I need. Do you have investigation as a skill? I think you're muted.
He's searching.
I think it would be either criminal science or intelligence.
Yeah, I don't know. If you're talking, Gabe, I can't. I think you're muted. One of
Can you hear
our
me right now?
Yeah, we can hear you. One of our viewers mentioned that I can't hear Orion.
All right. So, I have the criminal science skill.
Okay, roll that, please. On the body of the perpetrator, you find a tattoo on its wrist, and it's weird in that nothing else in her body is necessarily out of the ordinary, but where this tattoo is, it should be covered in blood and that goo from where her hand was, but it isn't. It's completely devoid of anything touching it.
Okay, I'd actually like to take out a pen or pencil and paper and copy it down using the art.
Sure. You don't have to roll. That's fine. You're able to copy that. What else are you going to attempt to do before I move on?
Well, if the samples of stuff would be taken, because my character actually does have a forensics kit
Mm-hmm.
that
Okay.
I put down. So if they're already going to be collecting the forensics, I'm going to let them do their job because they're probably more specialized in doing that.
Fair enough. What do you? What's your intent from this point forward? Because as far as you can tell, the CSI is gathering the evidence correctly. From your experience, the detectives are outside and they want no part in this. You do at one point you get a text that says "Call me" by your superior. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. But in any event, you get a text.
A.D. Schultz.
Schultz, right?
Yes.
Yep, you get a text that says "Call me."
Well, that'd be weird, but
Yeah, he does that to you. As far as you know, since you've been under his command, he tells you to call, but it's mostly just for him to bark at you
He know you can't respond.
because he knows you can't respond.
all right. So I'd call him.
So he phone rings a couple of times. He picks up. He's like, "This is Schultz." He's like, "Okay, Smurfette, listen. We got a hit from the surveillance footage that the girl in question, she's a metahuman that was wanted for murdering 3 people in Orange County 6 months ago. So she did the exact same thing that she did to that that meat barista, except the her particular ability wasn't wasn't a body modification. Since she has a distinct poison that she excretes, and what she did is you haven't seen the footage yet, but wait, no, you did see the footage. So you saw her body contort, her head turn around. He's like, none of that stuff was in her file. So whatever's going on, there's more to it. So I want you to keep digging. So for some reason, this has been red flagged by the higher ups. So whatever you need, just put it in a rec. We'll approve it. Don't fuck this up. Click.
Yeah.
Okay, Rick, $100 million.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and let the CSIs know that there's not much I can do here. I'm gonna go follow up leads that have taken me elsewhere for this case, and
The guy's like, do what you got to do, man. It's good meeting you. So we'll send over what we have. All right.
I'll nod at him.
Okay. You take off. Where are you going from here?
Well, first things first. The contortion. I'm assuming that we have contacts that are studying doctors and whatnot that are studying metahumans and universities. So I'd probably try and figure out what a good contact for this sort of display would be, and simultaneously, I'm going to send a text message to Id, telling him, "Hey, this is O'Brien. We met briefly at the firehouse, and it would be a month ago, right?
Yes.
A month ago, I was the GSTF agent.
Okay.
I recognize you on the surveillance footage at the restaurant, and would like you to get a hold of me."
Send a message back. Click.
All right.
You're not Id.
You're not Id. He's like, yes, please help us. We're dying here. All right.
It is currently slowly dying and trying to heal himself.
All right.
Oh,
Patch.
hold on, the phone.
Yeah. So when so for Patch, you reached the point where you really can't move forward with what you're attempting to do. The not that the program is, it's just your computations are off. You know that they're off, but there's something there. The assistant comes back. She's like, okay, so if if you're finished here, we're gonna need to sterilize the lab because
yeah. I'm sorry. It's just this stuff is amazing.
it's like, yeah, it's cutting edge. It's like I wish they would let us get all of the information that we're looking at, but they're only as far as I can tell, they've been piecemealing us. This stuff. It's like, I think because the other labs are working on it, so they're working on it too. So I think that's what they're doing. It's like something. This is probably some government weapons program. That's pretty much what they have us doing these days.
It always does seem that way, doesn't it?
It's like, well, it's like boys with their toys. No offense, but says yeah. So I'll escort you out, and the dean, no, the director. He said he apologizes, but that server fire it's more serious than we thought.
Oh man, is everything all right?
I says, well, I don't have all the details, but apparently we're going to have to shut down. We're going to have to shut down the lab and decontaminate it because there's something that shouldn't be there. He wouldn't he wouldn't go any further into it than that.
All right. Hmm.
So I'm to escort you back to the lobby and then set an appointment for your next visit.
Okay.
All right. You're doing that for Seraph.
Oh, there's Seraph residue all over the lab.
I think whatever happened in there, you probably pulled something out with it. That's what I'm assuming.
So with Seraph, you make it back to the residence.
Mm-hmm.
The family is there, but Patch is still at the university. What were you going to attempt to do before? Because I'm going to go back and forth with you guys.
I'm actually gonna look through the stuff he has at the home
Mm-hmm.
and see if there's any equipment like that's not in use.
There, you would find, some. Okay, so before I say yes, give me an idea of what specifically you may be looking for. Something more definitive.
Definitely motherboard,
Mhm.
RAM. Uh, yeah, some stuff along those lines.
Okay, that you can find. Yes.
Yeah. So probably a few of those with the idea of chain linking them together,
Okay.
or running them in parallel. Um, for computational power.
Okay. The
I've
end
got
goal.
Probably.
several bit. I do own several Bitminer setups. If you
Yeah.
want to use that, it might be better.
Oh well, I don't know yet until you get there.
Well, if you're looking with your again with because you're that advanced, you would know what he's talking. You would be able to
Right.
see those things
Oh, okay,
for
yeah.
what they are.
If I see it, yeah.
Hmm.
But I'm looking for stuff he's not actively using,
Hmm.
because I don't want to burn anything out.
Okay.
That might be important.
All right. Assuming that you do find what you're looking for, what is your end goal here?
Um, I'm going to, when I do find
Hmm.
whatever I'm looking for and
Hmm.
I assemble that and put that together,
Hmm.
my plan will be to turn off my transmitters, all of them, and then work on that code again.
Okay.
Start working on that code again.
Okay. I'm gonna get back to you in a second. So
Hmm.
you get your next appointment. She has you down for 2 days from now, uh,
Yeah.
and she says if you need anything else, she gives you her card. She also gives you the director's card. She says that he never answers his phone. So if you're gonna call him, you might as well just call me.
Okay.
Okay.
I give her my card too.
It's like, it's been a pleasure meeting you. And if you ever need anything, please give me a call.
Sure. Thank you.
Great. So she turns in. She's like, I'm sorry, I really got to go, but it's been a pleasure. And she goes back into the lab, swipes her key card and goes back in. The receptionist is just smiling you with her blank, I don't know what's going on smile. But uh,
I can't see nothing from here either, right?
no.
Damn. So, does mechanical link work at range?
I think you need to be touching. You need
No,
to be in.
Mechanolink works. Mechanolink is limited to touch.
Yeah.
To touch?
So
Telemechanics, the psychic power works at 5 feet.
All right. Damn. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna look around and see where I'm just like scoping out real quick
Mhm.
to see if I see where any cameras are.
You see a standard security setup.
Standard security setup.
Mhm.
All right. So
So two cameras facing, two cameras facing the lobby. One camera
right.
that's posted that's outside, facing outwards.
Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. All right, here we go. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna walk over towards where there may be a light switch,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna lean up against it with the light switch to my back,
Okay.
and I'm gonna pull out my phone and text Mr. Woodson to have him send uh the things I need for Seraph, the servers, a couple of servers power relays.
Mm-hmm.
Actually not a couple of servers, like maybe like 5 or 6 full servers.
Wait a minute. So Woodson being who? Remind me.
He's the one that's at he's my CEO. I'm the CFO. He's the CEO
Oh,
of the
okay.
company.
Yes. I
So
apologize.
I send him the message I send him a message to I need this equipment,
Mm-hmm.
and if you could send me some of these.
Okay. After a few seconds, you just see a thumbs up emoji.
And while I'm doing that,
Mm-hmm.
and with the switch to my back, have the I'm gonna since I'm touching it, I'm do mechano link,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna go through the electrical into the cameras and look around and see what's going on inside.
Okay. Takes you a few seconds. Um, the cameras go as far as seeing into the lab, because whatever there's the cameras inside the lab are offline.
Okay.
Those you can tell are offline. Inside, you can from the angle you can see it's sort of a panoramic view of the lab from I would say like a 30-degree angle going down.
Uh-huh.
You can see several people standing around the server, some with tablets. You can see the director. He has his arms crossed, and he's talking with one of the what looks like one of the assistants as they're going over it. And you can also see them. There's one of the techs. He's covered in not a hazmat suit, but sort of a protective suit. Just nothing from his head, but just he has a visor with a clear visor, and he looks like he's scooping up something and placing it into a vial. And as he's scooping it up, it looks like from that distance, because the camera itself is it's not black and white, but from the angle you really can't tell, but you can see it glinting as he's against the light as he's scooping it into that vial, not vial, but the cup, the specimen cup.
All right. I'm gonna check the Wi-Fi, see if that tablet's connected to it, which is more likely it is, right?
It is.
So then I'm gonna jump into the tablet and use the camera from there and take a look at it.
Okay, so it looks like a mound of it looks like silicone, and he's trying to he has some of it on this particular tablet. He was able to take a digital sample of what he's looking at, and he's taking a picture and he's examining it. So it's an extremely advanced piece of tech. It's more advanced than this particular lab should have. Like this is state of the art for the country, but even this it's beyond that. There's a couple of firewalls in it that you're noticing are self-replicating and self-destructive. So
Holy
you're able
crap.
to avoid those to use the camera, because the camera is a very simplistic application. The other thing is just the diagnostic function, and you can see it's just reading. It's giving off the elements as it's going down, and then the last three elements it's flagged as unknown.
Oh wow.
And you're looking at the chain, and they're almost identical to the ones that you were examining for the anti-gravity device.
Holy crap. All right. All right. I saw record this information and then I'm gonna pull out. And
What do you mean pull out? Oh, you mean come out of the?
yeah.
Okay, so I was just saying, what are you pulling out from? This is not that kind of game, sir. Now,
or is it?
Or is it? No, it isn't. No. But
She doesn't want it inside her. It's got to
this
go
is
somewhere.
way too much of a sausage party for that kind of game. Now, just so happen as you're disconnecting from that device, from the cameras, and pulling your consciousness forward, you can hear the receptionist now. She's like, "Sir, are you okay? Do you need anything else?"
Oh no, I'm sorry. I just got into my game. Sorry.
So she's like, she holds up Words with Friends. She's like, "I know." She's like, "They are super addictive." So he's like, "But did you need something else?"
No, I'm good. I was just waiting for a phone call, but I'll take it outside. It's fine.
He's like, "Totally okay. I just you seemed a little like you spaced out a little, but I guess it was that game. It must have been really good."
Yeah, it got intense.
So okay, she just goes back to it. She's not even paying attention. The phone is ringing. She's like,
I wave and I walk out.
"Okay."
I get I go right to my car
Mm-hmm.
and I start driving home
Okay.
quickly as I can safely can.
All right. So, Seraph, you get all the components that you needed that you could gather right now. You gather that. You're able to put together that device. The ability
Okay.
for you to start trying to put together that data. Now, here's the thing: as soon as you disconnect, that data itself It is completely inert. You can't touch it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. Okay. All right, I turn my transmitters back on.
Okay. Once you turn them on, it's almost as if they come right back to life. And by
Okay.
life, I mean you can access it the way you've been accessing it and hitting those roadblocks, but they're accessible.
Okay. I'm going to make sure I keep a log file of these things that I encounter,
Mm-hmm.
so that it's shareable. And I'm also going to take a snapshot of what I just put together
Mm-hmm.
and send it to Patch, followed up with a text of, I'm going to attempt to look at the code now. I am at home. Should I work in the lab or in the garage instead?
All right, I'm gonna let you guys do this. You can have the conversation as if you're texting.
Yeah.
Work in the lab. Um, I'll hook up to the bot and see if I can keep it cool.
It will be part of my body temporarily. That's the plan.
Okay?
It seems that I cannot disconnect and work on the code because the code becomes inert. So I will still have to be connected to the net
That's
in order to work on this code, which also inherently has the danger of whatever it is that happened at the college lab.
yeah. I need to tell you more about that, but like I said, when on a more secure line. Um, I have several self-contained water coolers. You should attach those to the CPUs to help you with the cooling, because apparently the overheat was one of the issues you were having.
That sounds like a good idea. I will do that.
All right.
And yeah, hey Lou, yeah,
Yes.
I do that.
Okay. That takes that's going to take a few to get prepared.
Mhm.
You get all those components together to work on that. The process itself, you compute that it with your current processing power. Even still, you're going to be um, working on this for quite some time now. With the amount that you're working on and the components that you have, without burning them, it will take you about 2 years without burning out the system.
That is an
So
infinitely long time.
you need more you need more power.
Yes.
We'll have more. Just got to give it a little bit of time. Shipping and all.
I do some research.
Mm-hmm.
That I do have. What kind of system would I need to attach to
The
or integrate with?
it
What are
would
we talking as far as capability?
remember from the earlier, this thing is acting like an artificial intelligence.
Right.
So it is, in a sense, adapting to your efforts to try to decrypt it.
Right.
And in doing so, it just pushes out the time frame. So that's why it's taking you this long. So what you have right now, you would probably need another artificial intelligence in order to break this, or yourself. But you've already experienced what happens when you try to do it.
Right. I have this stuff set up, but I also have a curiosity.
Mm-hmm.
The lab I was made in obviously was made to handle artificial intelligence to begin with. Uh, some research.
Hmm.
Does that still stand? Was it demolished? Was it taken over? Whatever happened to it?
The lab itself, trying to retrace your steps to see if there's any access to it. Um, the lab itself is still operational, but it's on its own server, so it's not necessarily on a network. It's on a closed server.
That's interesting because everyone is dead.
Yep. It is active. You know that the place, the laboratory itself, it's drawing power, an enormous amount of it. But there are no access points, wireless, through the net. There are no access points right now, which suggests a closed loop.
Which means it's either they're waiting for me as a trap or something else is being done. Okay. I'm going to attempt working on the code
Okay.
right here, right now,
Okay.
where I'm at, just to see what I can figure out at this moment.
All right.
I don't expect a lot of results at this time
Okay.
because of
Yeah, because
time
of
frame.
the time frame. So it's to a mind like yours. It's like an infant learning to crawl. That's how slow this process is. It's your processing power. You do understand what it takes. You process millions of computations a nanosecond per nanosecond. This is just taking way too long. It's like an hourglass, but it's just one grain at a time.
What I'm focusing on more
Mhm.
is trying to understand this other AI.
Right. Okay.
And looking at, obviously it feels like maybe obviously it's reacting defensively
Mm-hmm.
as if it's being attacked, brute force, whatever. So I need to find a way that's more cooperative.
Okay.
So that's what I'm looking for right now.
All right. Again, all takes time, and this, unfortunately, the only hamper, the only one of your
Bottlenecks.
say that again.
Bottlenecks.
Yes, one of the bottlenecks is that you were not designed for this. So as you're learning how to do this, you're also learning that there are other you understand that there are other artificial intelligences, but you, as far as you know, are the only one of your kind. So to encounter something that is similar, because remember, a lot of this information, a lot of what you've been able to get is familiar to you. You believe in your programming that you have seen it before. It's just you're not able to access the memory file completely. So that's just it's giving your specific character a sense of frustration. It's just all these new sensations, these new human-like emotions that you are encountering. So, excuse me. So that's going to be the current bottleneck in trying to understand this AI, but you're piecing it together slowly. Okay, so Patch is on his way. He should be there soon. Morgan and Id get to the hospital. You're in the ER. They take him in immediately because he's covered in blood, and the attending physician, after they've triaged him, comes out to you, and he is his entire not his robe, but they put the covering on. I'm thinking the word I'm thinking is smock, but I know it's not it. But
PPE?
it's like a surgical gown.
Yeah, PPE.
All right,
Surgical gown. PPE is for when you're dealing with viruses that
yeah.
are airborne and so on.
Okay.
You just saw that on the news. So he comes out and he's just like, you were the one that brought him in.
Yes.
He said, "Can you explain? Can you explain to me what happened?" Says,
He-
"We just finished staunching that bleeding, and I've never seen anything like that before from a wound."
He was attacked by what looked like a metahuman.
I said, "Oh, that would explain it." Can you describe it for me? We've had a number of metahuman attacks recently.
It grew claws. Its fingers grew about 3 times the normal length. And I begin to describe the whole detail from what I remember
Mm-hmm.
to him, how it changed, how its arms, its head, its face, and then at the end it tore its head open.
So with every description, he's just like, "Huh? What? Ah, no." He's not horrified, but he's just like, "Wow, uh, what?"
It was a very sight to see.
It's just it's just strange. Do you know if he has any next of kin? Because
I know
we
I
might
don't.
need. He says we've. He says we've pumped at least uh, four bags of blood into your friend, and it just it comes out as fast as it goes in. It's just and he was able. It's like somehow the wound started closing, and this is with Id using his psychic abilities to close, to heal himself. So he doesn't. There's no correlation for the human doctor to understand that you used your power to heal yourself, but
Okay.
on the way you lost a lot of blood. They were trying to triage you, and you were trying to focus through all that pain because it was actively trying to keep your wound open. So whatever that substance was not allowing your skin to knit. You knew it and you felt it. Um, do you have any other sensory abilities? I don't have your character in front of me.
Oh, hold on, give me a 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I have.
So I don't want to give away the farm just yet.
Other than telepathy, astral projection, mind block, sixth sense, and object read.
Okay.
Those are my senses.
All right. So whatever this is, it felt like a poison, but your healing was only able to keep you conscious enough to keep healing yourself. You were on the verge of you expending all of your inner strength points. Just the will that you had to summon in order to keep yourself alive was
Okay.
Herculean because of that pain. Um, Now, this is all for dramatic effect because you're not going to suffer any additional. You suffered enough SDC points. So I don't remember. I think your character is a bit on the toilet papery side. So
I should have 53 SDC.
yeah, but not all your chest. Remember.
Yeah, I know.
So
It's just total.
yeah. Now the it's about maybe 2 hours after they were able to tried to stitch you up, but you were able to psychically close your wounds, which is freaked out. It definitely freaked out two of the nurses, and the anesthesiologist was freaking out because that's the other part that you were trying to fight. He's trying to put you under, and you're trying to stay awake to heal yourself. So using your psychic abilities, you were able to withstand the anesthesia long enough to be able to heal your wounds. Now, they have you in a recovery room, and you can see the doctor outside talking to Morgan. You're still conscious. You're still awake. You're feeling extraordinarily weak at this point, but they're pumping you full of what's the word? Not blood, but the clear thing.
Saline.
Saline. Damn it. And trying to get you. Yeah. to try to keep you alive. They have you on a lot of. They don't have you on a ventilator, but they have the they are monitoring your pulse and all that stuff. They have the diagnostics on you. Um,
Full diagnostics, monitoring his heart. They've probably done ultrasound. They've probably done a CAT scan.
Yeah,
They've gone through the whole works with him.
They have electrodes to your head, to your neck, to your heart, on your arms. They have
EKG.
the saline going into your hand. It's they've been monitoring your blood. It's like
Yeah, don't forget oxygen.
right. The what they said was one of the doctor, when he was talking with you after you came out of the emergency surgery, he said he's only ever seen that type of anticoagulation in snakebite victims. He said he was he did a what do you call it? He was traveling.
Residency,
Yes,
internship.
Jesus Christ. He was doing a residency in Australia, and he noticed and he saw that kind of anticoagulation in people who had been stung by a blue ring octopus. Now, blue ringed octopus, there is no anti-venom. It's one of the smallest octopi in the world, but it has the most potent venom. So that's what it was similar in that structure. So, and the fact that you were able to survive is a miracle. So that he's just trying to give you a rosier outlook of your ability to survive this, and not knowing that it was your own willpower that kept you alive. So he's talking with Morgan, and Morgan is outside. He's like, you can go look in on your friend if you like.
Thank you. So I go in.
You, by the way, Id, you had gotten your phone and you saw a couple of messages from Orion.
All right, I'm gonna text him back and let him know I'm a bit incapacitated at the moment, and unless you could provide some medical aid, I'm gonna be out of it for a while.
All right. You can have the text conversations. You finally get that message, Orion. I think you're
All right,
muted.
can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so I'll send him a text message telling him that he was on the surveillance footage, and that I do need to talk to him because it's part of my investigation.
You can have the conversation as if you're texting.
Yes, I just said what I sent back.
No,
as
no,
a text.
I was
Did it
talking.
come
I was
through?
mostly talking to. I was talking to Quan.
All right, I'm a text back. Well, if you need a little bit of help, I'll be helping you from this hospital bed. I'll give him my location if he wants to speak to me in person.
All right. So
I'll send a text back that I'm on my way.
Okay.
Yay.
So
And I
Morgan.
mumble to myself, this happens every other month. I'm always
Yeah, seriously,
nearly
you
dying.
have been critically injured in just about every game. I think that the
Yes.
universe is telling you something, that the GM hates psychics. Okay,
Right.
so
But chase it next level. Next time I level
well,
up,
as long
chase
as you weren't playing a bionic, I'm good. No, I'm just kidding. That's just
Quan, if you see-
that's an inside that's an inside joke from old New York.
Quan, if you see any strange objects, like at an altar in a room full of weird magical things, just touch it.
Just
No, please leave.
that was Eric. That was the best. He's like, I'm gonna touch it. Okay. Go ahead, Morgan. I'm sorry. He let you back into the room, and you see your friend. He's texting, of all things.
Oh, are you okay? Are you texting your wife? You have a wife. You have kids.
No, I do not have a wife. I don't have kids. I don't even have a girlfriend right now.
Oh, doctor asked me if you have next of kin. I didn't know, so that's why I asked.
I haven't talked to my sister in a long time.
That's considered next of kin. If you have nobody else.
Well, I do have my partner. She's like a second sister to me.
Okay.
But leave out the part where I got owned with one hit and make it a little more dramatic. I'd rather her not.
You fought a bunch of gang members that were Chinese with knives?
No, tell her the truth, met a human, but let it go down as the fight was a little longer than what it was.
It was big black guys with chains.
This guy scraped across his chest. Like,
All right.
The pain. It hurts to laugh.
I mean, you guys, are you gonna call his partner, or are you gonna do that? Because I can move past this, and then we can get to the point where Orion gets to the hospital.
Yeah, we'll push past it. Don't worry about it.
Okay. You arrive.
I'll just get their phone numbers in case.
Okay. You arrive at the hospital. You flash your badge. They send you up to his room, and Morgan is sitting in the those uncomfortable reclining chairs next to his bed, and they're watching an old rerun of Maury Povich. You are not the father. But yeah, so he seems to be recovering. The nurse had come in to change the dressing of your wounds, which are not there anymore. So she's like, "Oh my God, this is amazing." She's like, "Wait a minute." She's like, "Are you one of them?" It's like, "I'm totally okay with that, by the way."
I just wink at her.
Get him laid.
She's like, "I still won't have sex with you."
I'm normal.
Ask for that.
I'm normal.
He's like, I'm normal. I'm normal. He's like, shut up. You shut up. She's like, oh my God, that is amazing. Like, so if I stab you, no, I'm gonna stab him in the heart. So she says, she's gonna check on you in about an hour, but if all looks well after your last round of tests, you could probably get out of here. Which is
are you
amazing.
sure I'm doing all right?
It's just like, yeah, all your vitals seem to be normal. You're not bleeding anymore. You've gotten all the color back in your face, and I don't see why we would keep you.
Fair enough. Back to the mean streets, I guess.
Well,
Yeah,
someone's got to protect us, protect our bodies.
Look over at Morgan angrily and point to him. You did this to me.
You.
I'm gonna just be like, I guess next time we should go to a Fridays, not Chipotle.
This is what happens when you double guac.
Flip them off.
All right. You see Orion. Orion does enter the room. The human, the Blue Man Group enters the room.
I start humming the theme to "I'm Blue."
Oh, that's not cool. He's probably heard every blue insult that exists. So go ahead. You guys have.
I'd knock before going in.
Mm-hmm.
Go on in.
I'm examining the blue guy now. Since we're in good light.
I head in. Send a psychic message to Id saying, how you feeling?
I reply, I've been better.
I'd like to get a statement from you about what happened in that diner.
Sure, I can tell you exactly what happened. From beginning to end, how I got my ass kicked. Volume 1.
And I'll be writing all this down.
I tell him I don't tell him everything that Morgan is dealing with. I just lead to the fact that some monster took over that woman's body, crushed another woman's head, and then proceeded to slash me across my chest. And here we are today.
With that, I'd say, wait, what? A monster took over her body?
Yes, I'm not sure what this entity was or exactly what it wanted. I just know I'm laying in a hospital bed. I could use some ice cream.
I'd ask him how he knew that it was something taking over her body.
I had a. It's hard to explain the senses, but I'm pretty sure you get it. I just felt it.
No,
I just felt it.
I don't get it. Are you saying?
I'm looking at them all blank.
Right, because they're just staring at each other.
Yeah, I'm like. um,
Yeah, I forget this.
They're both like,
okay, if he
they're both looking at
if
each other
he's-
like,
like, did he come here just to stare at you? Did
If-
Big
if,
Blue guy here just to stare at you?
it's like, come in.
if he's
Come
if
in.
he's sending telepathic messages back, I'd probably grasp that.
Pat says they stare lovingly, full of lust. Hey, I'm sorry. Go ahead. That was just too funny.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
What the
So,
bloody hell are you doing? It's like, is either one of you going to speak?
I'd send a message to Morgan. Are you a telepath as well?
Oh, no. Thank you. I thought you were staring at him to murder him or eat him. Now I know you're telepathic.
Okay, so I'd ask Morgan to give me his statement of what happened.
We went there to exchange information. And from my knowledge, the woman was possessed. And it used the metahuman's body to attack everyone and twist it into the concoction that you found. And it went explicitly after it. I'm assuming that it's because of his psychic abilities. That's what I could surmise. It's probably hunting psychics. You might be next.
Nice.
Be careful. You do stand out.
I would actually send a text message to the boss saying that apparently it is a psychic, and he says that the woman that attacked them was possessed by something.
All right. So after about 30 seconds, you can see the three dots as if someone is either writing or thinking, and as the send hasn't hit the send button, then 3 letters dot dot dot. It says and then a question mark.
Send another text, keeping you in the loop, sir.
Without spilling the beans to
And it says proceed.
without spilling the beans to Orion, I telepathically link to Morgan and say, "Do you want this guy to know about your investigation? He might be able to help."
Fun. It might be some outside eyes that might help us bring light to this. Really outside.
Out of this world outside. All right, it's your story to tell.
So I explained to Orion that I came from England hunting for the people that murdered my father and my family, and I'm the last surviving member. But it was helping me try to find out what happened. And we were there. He gave me this CD, or excuse me, DVD, or disc, data disc,
Disc. There you go.
that had a psychic impression in it. I handed to him. See, look. And then after everyone started being affected by they seemed like that disc because they were hearing things, that's when the woman was possessed.
Kind
And
of look at one and then the other, and then let them know one after the other that the only psionics I have is the ability to communicate telepathically.
oh, trust me, I'm not psychic at all. Here, hold this.
Are you gonna take it?
Sure.
Okay. You take it? No, I'm just kidding. Just
Your brain explodes.
Well, he goes all scanners
I
and
knew
shit.
it was about scanners.
Like best practical effect ever. That was the best one.
Yeah, everybody's showing their age here.
I know we're so old. People are like, "What scam? What are you talking about?" Okay. No, there's no effect. It's just looked like a broken data disk. Roll perception for me.
All of us?
No, Orion. He's like,
What's your IQ? Do you have any bonuses or something?
He's just like, wait. Patch is like, you poke out your eye. He's
My
like,
IQ is 25.
he's like, ah.
IQ
No,
well,
it
don't matter. You rolled a one.
doesn't
So.
matter.
But the IQ
Okay, so
okay,
I mean,
sorry.
there's nothing out of the ordinary that you can see. It just looks like a broken data disk.
I'll hand it back to him and tell him it doesn't do anything. Question mark, question mark, question mark.
I was just showing you
This
evidence.
is just I'm gonna transmit this image of 3 question marks blinking.
Okay. This is as far as you've gotten, and you don't get anything else. The forensics, you get a quick text message from your lab, talking to Orion, and they give you the substance that they were able to collect from the nails. It is an organic venom. It's an anticoagulant. It has they were able to pull out 3 distinct venoms from 3 distinct animal species, and they all formed a compound. And that shouldn't be possible, but it is suspected that this thing was from a metahuman criminal by the name of Viper.
And the Viper. 425.
Her name was Carrie Seals, and she was Australian, presumed dead in the dimensional worm attack, which you don't specifically know about as a player, and we'll go into that. But from earlier games, pre-streaming, there are these dimensional worms that were led into this reality by one of the other players. Because why do I have to do any of the damage? Everybody does it to themselves. Okay, so the metahuman's name is Viper. Her name is Carrie Seals, and she was presumed dead during the initial dimensional worm attack. And clearly not.
I'd write that all down.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so and the body wasn't has yet to be identified, but they're running her prints through Interpol now.
All right.
All right, so that's what you get from your forensics thus far. Now, okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop it here, and we're going to pick this up. I'm going to post the next time we play because of the whole pandemic thing. We'll do this weekly until we're all done. So we'll meet here next Thursday, which is the 14th. And we will start at 9. Players show up at 8, so I can get everybody all situated with their camera placements and everything, and make sure that the audio is working. This was interesting. This new dynamic group. Before I go, I'm gonna get the final actions so that when we pick up the next game, we'll know what everybody's doing. I'm going to start with Patch and Seraph.
I am going when I get home. After I bring home the food,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go straight to Seraph. And if he's not too overly occupied, try to explain to him everything I saw at the lab.
Okay.
Show him the molecular structure of the unknown material that was being used in the lab.
Okay.
And tell him that the exact same material was produced when he melted down the freaking server.
Okay. And Seraph?
I'm having a
I
temper tantrum.
already know what you were working on. You were working on decrypting that
Right.
that information.
Yeah, I'm having a temper tantrum and smashing everything in the room. No.
It's like, well, there went your lab.
No, actually, when Patch arrives, I disconnect because I know that there's not much I can do
Mm-hmm.
at the moment, and I might need this. I will need his help to really figure this out
Okay.
because it's more his area. But when he tells me, I listen to what he has to say.
He's Charles Schwab.
And I ask him, do you have any data?
Yeah, I gave it to him.
Okay.
Schematics, everything I copied.
Okay. This is going into the next game. So,
Yeah.
Id, Morgan, and Orion, you're all in the same room right now. So we'll pick up from there, unless you're going to be leaving the room at any point to do anything different. In the next 30 minutes of this encounter, what exactly are you guys doing?
I'm going to be using my smartphone to start researching venoms.
Okay.
Particularly if they mentioned what species of venom
Okay.
that they came from. I'm going to be researching those venoms and their chemical compounds. I have chemistry and chemistry analytical to work on that later, but right now I'm using research.
Okay. Morgan?
I am going to see if I can find any stores using my phone that deal with the occult, so I can new age stuff, so I can find out anything about that possession and anything to stop somebody from being possessed.
Okay. And Id?
I am going to shut down and try to get some rest.
Good plan.
Complaining that this happens way too often.
If it's not rockets, it's was rifle butts to the face.
It never seems to be anything that's my issue. There's never something coming at the
It's
me.
always brought to you.
Suggestion to Id: be a cop. The moment something happens, pull your gun and shoot it.
Shoot first.
That's it. Like running up and punching. No.
I didn't run up and punch. I punched from across the room.
No. Pull your gun and shoot. You are a cop, and that is
in
what
LA.
cops do.
Like,
Yes, you are LA cop.
I am a better cop than most.
that's funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you still have a gun, and the gun is the great equalizer.
It's just
Should have
like,
just paralyzed.
I'm
it, like
going
a
to.
normal-
Not again. All right. Thank you guys. Thanks everybody to for watching. You our new familiars. I will give you XP once I go over this again. I'm gonna drop this.
4,000.
Yeah. No, not
That's
for
what I'm
you.
talking about. No.
Not for you, sir. Not for you. Yeah. If I'm gonna
You
give
took one for
XP,
the
if I'm gonna give
I took
XP
one
for
for the team.
incapacitating wounds, you would be 15th level right now. So I will. I'm going to post all this information on YouTube as well. I'm going to keep this on Twitch for as long as they would allow. We need 50 followers. If you guys know of any people that would be interested in watching this, watching the replay, watching the live stream next week, that'd be great. On Sunday, we'll be doing Beyond the Supernatural Unleashed, and I'm having a new D&D game that I'm going to be running with my brothers. That's going to be fun. I haven't finished putting all the details together, but it's going to be coming out within the next week or so, and it should be fun. And if anybody wants us to play any other games, those of us, those who may be watching or interested in, and please let us know, and we'll be more than happy to do it. Right now, we're doing Heroes Unleashed, which is based on the Palladium system, Heroes Unlimited. I'm also supposed to be scheduled to be doing the Gen Con. I'm going to be running some games at Gen Con, providing that this pandemic doesn't shut down the whole convention. That should be fun, too. Just stop on by. It's going to be 3 one-shots. I'm going to probably base them loosely off of this storyline. Been wanting to do the storyline for a while. I think we have a good group here, and we should have some fun. Always looking for new ideas, new players. For other games. If you're interested, hit me up, and we'll see what we can do. For now, Thank you very much. Thank you to the players. We have Gabe, Spanky, Quan, Mike, and Steve. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll see you soon. Peace.
All right. Hopefully, we'll have the turtle next time.
Good point.